Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Sid, this is the World Building series, and today we're talking about magic. I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. I know that spell doesn't make you invisible, but I just wanted to do it, so I did it. Anyway, today when we talk about magic, that would include all sorts of supernatural displays of power that we see in all forms of media, starting from TV shows to movies to even books. When it comes to magic systems, we have three primary magic systems, and the first one is a hard magic system. Now, a hard magic system is a magic system that sort of has a mathematical formula that is required in order to use the power. It could be anything. It could be the amount of energy you need to activate a certain spell combined with certain ingredients, and only if you have these two in the right amounts can you use the magic or the magical product that this leads to. And if there were to be any breaks in this magic system, the character would not be able to use that form of magic. One example actually is Naruto. Here, characters need a certain amount of chakra combined with specific hand signs, and only when they do both of these things together can they use a wide combination of powers. If you take even one of these away, they can't do anything. Another good example is actually the Mistborn series, where the characters need a certain amount of a certain metal to use the powers. Now, a hard magic system is great because it gives your reader or your viewer a complete understanding of how this magic system works, and even sets limitations on your characters, which just makes them seem very real and prevents them from being too powerful or too perfect. Another huge benefit is that when these limitations are placed on certain characters, when the characters overcome these limitations, it's always a spectacular moment for the audience. One great example is from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Toph, an earthbender, is locked in a metal cage and is being forcibly taken back to her house. And this is the moment that the writers use to introduce a new type of bending. Toph, under pressure, creates a new type of bending known as metal bending by bending the tiny pieces of earth that are just naturally ingrained in metal. And this moment was amazing. What made this moment so great was the fact that we, the audience, knew that this magic system was hard, and without earth, Toph would not be able to earthbend. So when this character found a loophole and created a new type of bending, it was a huge moment for not only the audience but even in the world, because it opened up an entire new path that various other characters could then take. For moments like these, a hard magic system is amazing because yes, it does place limitations on your characters, but it makes them more human, it makes them more real, it prevents them from being more perfect, which I would just say in the grand scheme of things makes them very likable. The second type of magic system is the complete opposite of a hard magic system, which is a soft magic system. Now, this is a magic system where things aren't really explained to the audience and things are just left in the air. One example would be The Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf the Grey could basically do anything and we didn't really understand how his magic works. In fact, anyone in the world of The Lord of the Rings who used magic just somehow managed to do it. Another example is actually from the MCU. Anytime Scarlet Witch uses her magic, we don't really know how she's doing it, if she needs anything specific. She's just doing it. Similarly, if you look at all the mutants and their superpowers, they just do it. There aren't any specific things that they need to do it. This magic system, it works quite well, but you need to be careful as to where you use it. In Lord of the Rings, it worked well because the magic was not the focus of the story. It didn't play a huge part in what the story was. And in the MCU, if you've seen WandaVision, yes, the magic does play a massive part in the story, but the story goes in a very smart angle where yes, it is about her powers, but it's so much even about her own personal journey and her own past. So that navigation is what made the soft magic system work, because without it, characters might just seem too powerful and you might not be able to know what to do with them. One example of that is actually Superman. He is a god. He is too perfect. There is nothing wrong with that character. So writers always need to find creative ways to place hurdles in front of this character so that they can show him overcome it. Similarly, when using a soft magic system, we need to be careful because we don't want to make a character seem too perfect where every problem seems to be just easily overcome and does not present any challenge. Now, the third magic system is what I call a mixed magic system, where the magic system, it does have an equation that it needs in order to work. However, that's not 100% always required. Now, one example is actually the Harry Potter series. We know that wizards and witches need to train and learn magic in order to use it. And we even know that they do need wands or some instruments to use magic. However, beyond that, we don't really know much. For example, how much magic can a wizard use continuously before they tire themselves? How much specific magical control do you need in order to do advanced spells versus basic spells? The magic system is not fully explained in that scenario, but it is explained enough as to where it makes sense within the confines of the story. Another example is Star Wars. All we know is that the Force just exists and the Jedi Knights can use the Force to do a bunch of things, but beyond that we don't really know the specifics of how precisely the Force works. So a mixed magic system does take benefits from a hard magic system and a soft magic system. However, it even takes the limitations from both. In conclusion, in your world, whether you have a hard magic system, a soft magic system, or a mixed magic system, make sure that it makes sense within the confines of your world and within the confines of your plot line, because a great plot line can be ruined by a bad magic system. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you for this episode of World Building. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. If you have any suggestions, leave them there as well. Don't forget to subscribe and to follow me on Instagram as well. All the links are in the description below. I upload a video every other week, so stay tuned and I'll see you soon. Take care.